diva in the flesh.
I will rebuild you.
Decent positioning, a little
Get into position.
find out the recovery. Shift away, right there. So right there, when you get pulled like that, you want to shift away. Just because anytime Orisa does that halt, it drags you into line of sight that the enemy can see, and typically they're just going to dump resources and damage into that. So just shift away from that. It's a good time to use shift.
This will heal you. Regenerate the cellular structure.
Raising the volume.
So right there, you're just spamming Moira damage into a shield, which is very sort of low value from your damage. Moira damage is not very strong, and those double shields take a lot to break. If it's already like really cracked, and you're just gonna help out. That's fine, and it also recharges your ability to heal. So that might have been why, but you could have been using that time to spam some more heal or use a ball here. I noticed you haven't used the ball in a little while. Use that one, but it's way too late. That ball's never gonna play. Right now, you can watch the show. You've already left 2, so it's 6 on 4, and right now it's 6 on 3. So you have a fade ability, you don't have a ball ability anymore, but you should be able to turn the corner behind here and fade back out to your spawn. This Reaper looks like is walking in, which is really bad, but if you've been paying attention to the top right, up here, you'd notice that right now it's a 6 on 3 fight. So this is going to be a massacre. I was getting lucky with that pick, but he immediately dies, again, because attackers have damage here. Doesn't matter. This is okay, you're staying grouped up with your team. I wish you would take high ground here instead of waiting down here. Kind of, you're following a Lucio, which, as you can see, like the rest of the team, these are the people who are going to need you up here. The Reinhardt, the D.Va, this Widow's a piece of shit. But the Lucio doesn't need your help. Like, you don't need to heal him, you don't need to follow him. He's a self-sustaining healer. And you have an ult here. So like you're the only person with ult on our team. So you're very valuable right now. And because we're so close to checkpoint, like this could make or break whether or not we get this checkpoint. But if you die here, the fight's over. We're not gonna be able to build up beat fast enough. No one else has ult, and it's gonna be a
Get into position.
that ball that fade, you should have gone back to high ground instead of back to the low ground, but I guess it's because the Ryan's here.
Surrender. I will.
So that was really good timing. This is an engage. Soldiers up here, Ryan's on the cart, took some damage. They're all stacked up, so you can make them think about standing still on the cart now. So that was a really good. Good, you got her. That's a great deal.
Soldier 76.
I'm going to pause this and just lower the volume of the game. It's a little loud. That Orisa's so low. Oh, get her.
I need healing.
So right there, you just spent like 90% of your heal juice just kind of topping up people. Remember, Lucio's AoE healing, and he does it automatically. It costs no resource, so be cautious about just kind of wasting your heals, just topping up people while there's not really a fight happening. It probably won't matter. They
The power of
they're kind of low on
destruction.
juice. And
Not ready.
if someone were to get a headshot here or something, it'd be hard for you to be able to kill them quickly. But
Let's
they're
up the tempo.
taking their time.
Let's get you healed up.
Anyone need some cold?
Yeah, so right there,
Allow
that
us to repair the damage.
was a massive waste. That Lucio's up there with them, so they're getting healed. They don't need like immediate healing. And that ball is going to barely top up the Widow for like a half second, and then just go into the sky.
Come out and face me.
No one can hide
Good
from
poke
my
damage.
sight.
Back up. Right now, you can back up. Back up. Thank you. See, the problem there is you right now are facing the same direction the enemy team is facing. You are basically, half their enemy team is looking at the back of your head, and you're like really out of position. If you would have backed up earlier, you could have gotten you did get the Lucio health, but you'd be in a better position to help that Reinhardt, and you could peel away for yourself instead of now. I imagine you die.
This will restore you.
But the risk is miserable. Like right here, right there, you just spent like 5 seconds just spamming that shield when Orisa was the only player alive. You should have just collapsed on Orisa. So if you ever find yourself in a position where it's like 2-on-1, 3-on-1, just kill that hero first, and then worry about the turrets, the cannons, the shields, whatever else.
This will heal you.
This is
That
gonna
should have
make
been
you
a
feel better.
death ball instead of a heal ball. Since he's all alone, there's 3 of you. I don't know why nobody chases him. He literally has no cooldowns left.
60 seconds remaining.
Let's get patched up.
I will rebuild you.
It's like right here, it's not a great
Your aim
position for
hold.
you. The tanks are above you to the left. You are like literally alone on cart and you're a healer. And again, like this team isn't very good, the team that we're facing, so it's not the end of the world, but you'll notice as you climb, this will be punished more and more often, and losing a healer first in a fight is usually the end of the
Contact.
fall back pretty quick. Our Ryan is just standing still.
I'm under
So
attack.
that, see how that Reinhardt was kind of just standing there holding his shield up and taking a bunch of damage, and now he's just still, like, he didn't make any space. He's like way too far away from the cart. He's literally just holding up his shield to be destroyed and serving no purpose. Nobody can stand behind him and shoot. It's a really, really bad run. Hopefully he'll save it. So again, we've actually killed 2 people on the kill feed. Okay. Alright. You got sort of insta killed by the rebar. Neither here nor there. Got to do it.
Must all make
Of course, the
sacrifices
Widow
in
holds
the
like
name of silence.
10 seconds
So let's see.
remaining.
Right now, let's assess. You got 1 tank about to die. Widow, who really can't, like, Widow cannot, besides maybe getting a pick on a healer and making the fight more even, there's no way Widow can, like, hold this position or hold the fight. Soldier, same thing. Because it's 2 DPS here and not, like, 2 tanks or a tank and a healer, it's almost impossible to stall this payload at this point. So the smart play would be sort of peeking here and stopping, not getting So again, now those 2 died to trickle damage. It is overtime. You should be backing out right now. You could throw that heal ball and just fade out. I noticed a lot of times, this is the 3rd time now you've died, or 2nd time maybe, you've died with fade available. So just like if you start getting damage, especially from the Reaper, you start getting damage from an angle you don't know, just hit shift and relocate. Like make them come chase you, then you can spam a heal ball, you can find a health pack, you can get towards one of your tanks. But yeah, you die with your cooldown a lot.
Payload has reached the checkpoint.
I'm faced.
Let's fast forward. Again, you're just spamming this Winston shield even though no one's in there. That's not... Oh. So that was like 6 seconds of you just wasting time. You didn't need it because your juice was already up. People are taking damage. There's a fight happening on the cart. Our team's essentially down a healer for half of a fight because you're spamming a bubble that no one's even inside. So again, you're going to die with both of your abilities. I think if you hear that fire in the hole, especially if it's close, I would spam a heal ball or a damage ball and then just shift away from everybody. So at the very best, they have to kill you solo. At the very least, they just can't find you and they go for something else and don't get a kill. But you could have gone in the house, you could have gone back. You could at least made it harder for that tire to find you. But you just kind of, you didn't really look up, you didn't really look around. You just kind of tunnel vision forward.
New beginning. New thinking.
So looking at the cart progress on top, there's still decent amounts. There's plenty of time for the team to group up and have a fight. We've just lost 2, so somebody and then the Widow just died. So the play really here should be just to wait. Like the cart's so far away from the checkpoint still, there's time for Soldier and I think it's Ryan down here to wait for at least 1 or 2 more people to come in and then have at least a realistic fight. But this feels like it's gonna be. That kind
Get
of
into position.
2 down there.
Power is mine.
Trying to heal that guy. die. You did a decent job fading away there. They dove on you, but now I'm curious where you're gonna go. I hope you take the low ground. Oh. So you could have just walked out to the right there and joined up with the rest of the team. Now you're reapproaching this divey position. No one can help you.
This will heal you.
No one.
60 seconds remaining.
I don't know if I like this. Again, you're running up to Seo Lucio, who probably can just skate out by himself, but you're also you faded into trouble, basically. Like, you used your escape tool to escape into trouble. And again, you're the same position as the first point. You are now in the enemy position. You are behind their shield with their team and their tanks. The cart's up here. Your opponents are facing either the same way you are or behind you. This is really bad. So yeah, that Reaper, someone was going to get you. That was a terrible D.Va bomb. All, I guess. No way it's going to win.
I must reflect
Oh,
upon
this is my
this.
jam.
So hopefully we're dying.
Allow me to repair the damage.
The payload
That's
has
okay.
reached the checkpoint.
At least now there's like a natural rebuff. So I would use these pauses in the game to find good positioning. Like right now, you should be looking for a spot.
Get you healed up.
This is pretty good. It's kind of
This
backing
will
up.
heal you.
That heal ball was totally unnecessary, not getting any value. See how it just kind of went down range? Like, you topped up Ryan a little bit, but it's not a fight happening right now, and you're only targeting one person, and it's no bounce.
Go time. Group up. Yeah, time to heal up.
This will restore you. I require assistance.
Again, that ball kind of hit a little. Something just to keep in mind, and I can pretty much already tell this monkey's going to die immediately because he's very bad. But if you see a monkey like that just playing recklessly by himself, it's almost always because he has his ultimate on cooldown. So he's basically saying, like, I can tank up to 599 damage, and then I'll hit Q and get 1,000 new health to work with. So if you see a monkey like that who's being like stupidly aggressive, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna be killed. Just assume that he's gonna have ult. Especially in here, you're fine. But if you're near a ledge or a place that has like cliffs or holes, that's usually why they're doing it. They try to bait you in so that when they pop their ult, they can
My will made real.
that ball bounced right. It would have been pretty great. Again, right now, instead of playing sort of back and behind shield, you're playing like with shield or even slightly in front of shield. So you're taking unnecessary.
Surrender to my will.
That's a pretty good ult. Timing wise, it's sort of like they're pushing the cart and it hasn't stopped yet, so you need something to set the pace. My only concern is that you've ulted with and nobody else can combo with you. So hopefully somebody can take advantage of this. Yeah, so you can see like that ult really didn't have much of an effect. Nobody's in really position to help you out, and that might be more on the team than just you alone. But you spent the time just kind of putting trickle damage down range, which was never really going to kill anybody. And you kind of healed your team, but now because their Moira has ult, now it's sort of we're fucked, right? Like the defense has no ults to counter this. They're already on the offensive. If I were you, and this goes to more of like ult management, you can't see this shit at the top, but you have to kind of keep track in your mind, like, hey, my counterpart, this Benny Bolt Moira, how long has it been since she ulted? How much like healing has she been doing recently? Is she gonna have an ult? Then if so, like wait for her to pop yours, or wait for her to pop hers and then pop yours, so you can sort of counter hers out. You sort of leading the charge like that now has put you in a. So again, you die with Fade here. Like you're taking damage from the Reaper who's behind you again. I know you can't see him, but you can hear like the shots. You can see the damage. You can even hear your hero going like, because you're getting low on health. And instead of just like shifting away, you just kind of sit still and throw a ball facing the same direction. So I can tell here you're just like your tunnel vision towards this Orisa behind his shield, which you can do nothing about. You're not really healing up this Reinhardt, and you're getting picked apart from the side by a Reaper and a Orisa that you've never turned around to see.
The payload is approaching its destination.
I'll fast forward 20 seconds. All totally did that here.
Perhaps a new
This is
methodology.
sort of unwinnable because it's a trickle fight anyways. You gotta
Allow me
hope
to
to get a good
repair the
pick.
damage.
Honestly, because you don't have an ultimate here, you're at 19%, and the fight's like near the end, what you need to do in a situation like this is stem the bleeding. So if you can even get like 1 or 2 picks on the enemy team, it's going to take them a lot longer to run back to almost the end of the game, as opposed to you walk right out the spawn doors and the cart's right here. So realistically, at 19% your charge, you should change to somebody like a Zen or an Ana, somebody who can have like immediate 1 pick potential, like, oh fuck, I slept their Moira, we can just like headshot her quickly, or like, oh, I slept their Reinhardt, let's like gang up, or a Zen being like Discord burst down damage, because Moira doesn't have that burst potential, and you're not going to get another ultimate before this fight ends. So my recommendation here would just be to switch heroes, just like as a desperation move, because maybe if you kill their Lucio or their Junk here, then we can sort of come back. Trickling in his Moira as like a ball, basically.
30 seconds.
We got the Lucio. That's wild. Right there, you were sort of just like wildly like spinning in a circle, basically. I think you did 2 full rotations just trying to find a target. And you unlucky you got trapped of a stupid Junkrat trap, but you weren't going to kill that monkey. He has pretty high health. You're not going to kill this D.Va, and you're not in a good position to sort of survey the battlefield from here. You're just sort of spinning around like a top. So you're not really
There was a flaw in my opinion.
Ryan died. Like right there, I would have. Maybe you are about to do it. I would have fired a yellow ball just because you saw multiple critical people. But and again, target selection pretty poor. So you went after the Orisa, who has full shields and full health. Like, I honestly think if she just sat still and you held down right click, I think it would be like 13 seconds for you to kill her, which is obviously not going to happen here. So again, get better positions so that at the very least the DPS tanks have to like leave the cart to come kill you, as opposed to you just being like in the mix here, kind of spinning around, kind of healing, kind of haphazardly doing damage. And again, like, you're in front of his shield, there's a Winston behind you, you have your Fade available, but you're not using it. Like that. Now that was someone you should have chased down. That Reaper was just sort of alone at the end there, sitting out. I think you died to a stupid Junkrat trap. Yeah, okay, so that's not really that bad, but... We're gonna hold this, I guess, so yeah, okay.
5.
Getting ready.
I'm under attack. Not ready. Injured again.
You didn't need your help. I think because you were... Not sure what you just... I think you just jumped off a cliff. I think because you were kind of spraying heals when you didn't need to, you didn't have them when you were needed. Alright, out.
Touch from afar.
That ball's pretty good. Got some bounce there. You're gonna get a back pass though.
No one can hide from my sight.
Well, again, wow. Okay, so like right now, everyone's literally at full health, and Lucio is healing them, and the cart's healing them, and you're still just... You sprayed half of your juice right now. Like, what? There's no one to heal.
Restoring you.
You have to heal the Widow because she's bad. She can't fucking help herself. Here's
This is my will.
fuck. Okay. So again, that blast of healing you just didn't connect with the D.Va at all. She was always too far away, and you just like kept holding her down. I think that's sort of... Again, like this right here. This is not... There's a Reaper who needs heals. This D.Va's getting none of this healing.
I need to recharge.
The payload has reached
Better positioning, but... That was good. That was a good 3 balls. Right now, we just took checkpoint, and for some reason, they're taking this fight, which is bad, right? Like, there's no value to this. We're about to roll under this thing of protection, and they're going to be in a bad position. So realistically, we should punish. Like, this Orisa is now alone. She lost her shield. She has very low health. If I were you, this would be one of those times where maybe you fade in because you're going to have ball available and like use your escape to go chase her. Looks like Reaper is trying
On
to.
the way.
Get into position.
That heal ball right there, again, that was kind of for nobody. It's kind of hope and a prayer. It looks like the damage ball would have been a lot more effective because they're grouped up. Plus, you have the Lucio in the cart healing everybody right now. So you just got your ult. Everyone is stacked up here. I guess I don't know what you were thinking at the time, but this is another one of those questions of ult management, right? Like, if you start ulting, what can counter you? And especially at this level, what tends to happen is when there's a lot of ults available and a couple ults go off, people just have this like herd mentality and they just all hit you at the same time. So I wouldn't be surprised if you ult here if like it triggers 5 other ults. One. There's Bob. There's Ryan Shadow. Alright, there's Anna with 4. And there's Sigma and there's Genji. Alright, so 6. Oh, and Arista.
Regenerating your cellular structure.
That was a good ball. That ship bounce. That's good healing, good healing, good healing.
Not
Stop,
yet.
Now stop. Alright.
I am loving this.
See what I mean? Like that, you started your ult, and I think 7 ults got used there. Might have been 6. 6 or 7. People just like tend
No
to
one
push
can
in there.
hide
And like that
from my
Orisa Genji,
sight.
the fight was already completely over. So there's no reason for them to do that, and they still continue just to dump in ults. It's kind of just like a panicky, everyone else is doing it, I got to. And now they're approaching this fight
from
with
afar.
no ults. Because their Sigma just died. and so they got red.
This is
That was unlucky. Reaper was shifting away and got halted back. But again, pay attention. Like, so they res the kill feed shows the res, so now they're full strength, and we lost a Reaper. So now it's 6 on 5, so you have to modify your playstyle based on that. Our Reinhardt's on the cart, doing a good job. Our Diva is getting just ass-fucked alone. I'm not totally sure what she's doing. You should be, like, back where Lucio is. You should be back here. They're coming from your right. The cart's in the middle. You should be left. They always make them have to chase you and go away from the objective to get the kill. You playing this close. See how this
towards
Reaper,
our
he knows
desired
this. He
outcome.
realizes these 2 healers are just kind of alone. He has to come chase, but if you 2 are together, there should be no way to it feels like a lack of focus. Like you're kind of healing. You're kind of again shooting. Hey babe, you're kind of shooting this Orisa shield. It's not really doing anything. And now this Ryan's. I don't know that you ever. So that was their Reaper ult. And I think our Reinhardt just ulted? Yeah, he did.
This will heal you.
So their Reaper ulted, it was effective. You could see on the kill feed, there's 4 blue and 1 red, meaning we only got 1 kill out of that. They got, well, 3.5, you count the Diva. And it's 1 for 1. Reinhardt stupidly wasted his ult. They wasted his ult. So now, ideally, you guys can run out. Yeah. See those fade away, yeah. That fight is long over. You just want to wait.
I'm under attack. Get into position.
Good ball.
This will heal you.
You had shift there, but you didn't use it, even though you didn't know where you're going. You got lucky that you got healed. Now it's like right in front of you. Great. Alright, we got 4 kills.
Right.
And honestly here, knowing they're so close to the spawn door, and this is like not necessarily a 1 fight yet, it might even make sense to pop Cole here, just to put like an exclamation point on this, and to make sure we get the checkpoint. Because the checkpoint is going to happen in a minute. Buy you plenty of time to get the roll filter up. Good chase, kind of fucked up the fate. He heals on him. So like, the more you shoot, the more he heals. Seems like sometimes you're not aware that there's enemies like literally right on top of you.
The payload
It might just be because of the massive bodies, but I'm not sure what that Reaper's doing. Just
My
stays
sound
back into
barrier
the
is
fight.
almost ready.
I don't know how he got out of there. Good help.
Restoring you.
Like right now, your role should not be pushing up and like getting into the mix here. It should be sort of behind cart, behind shields. If the cart always the objective of this, you always should be pushing it. It's like right here, you're still kind of healing. You're still kind of like poking around. We've already lost 4 people. Like you should be gone. There's 5 I can see on the screen that are right here in the cart, and you're alone. You're frontline. You did that right because it's like too late.
Greetings.
Pick off the top here, which is good. Again, right here, you should be backing up a little bit, not completely out because you want to heal your tank, but they outlasted your Coalescence, and now they have used both their Lucio beat and their Orisa supercharger, so they're doing double damage and they have triple health. So like this is probably an unwinnable fight unless you can back out. They're dumping every ult they have into this right now. That was Orisa, Lucio, and Genji, and because people just tend to ult other people ult. You should either die immediately or just fade back to zero. You're not winning this fight. Right now you're like going back in. Again, it feels like a lack of focus. You really know what you want to do here. Oh, is this fight still going on? Am I healing? Am I gonna what eventually happens is you just kind of stagger yourself. You just spend a bunch of time essentially feeding them ult charge on them shooting you and them healing up the damage you were.
I will rebuild you.
Finish. Right here, that was great with the damage ball. I would follow up by fading in because again, kill feed, it's gonna be like a 6-on-3 or 6-on-2. You should just follow up and kill all these
My
targets.
will made
Get back.
60 seconds remaining.
And again, see how you kind of do neither. You can't heal the Rhine from this distance, so this does nothing. But you're also not doing damage, so you're not following up on that big push, and you're not healing, and you're not in cart. So right now you're literally just.
No one can hide from my
I
sight.
think this Rhine thought you were going with
This
him,
will
which is why you
restore
pushed
you.
up.
Restoring you.
Ball. You're gonna need a cold. Right now, I can hear somebody clanking around behind you and above you. It sounded like the Reaper, and sure enough, it was. So you can hear the enemy footsteps that are sort of coming up behind you, and he's like looking for a pick. But even like right now, he's right behind you, and you have faith. And you don't use it.
30 seconds remaining.
And it seems like the Reaper is doing that pretty much all game. Just walking up behind you, start shooting, and even though you have the cooldowns to escape, you just for
That
whatever reason
changes
don't
my
use them,
thinking.
or my suspicion is because it's sort of problem. You're just tunnel vision. You're focused on the fight. You don't realize it's happening.
This will restore you.
All the premature. Just get
Surrender to my
good
will.
movement. Kind of, yeah. Overtime. Use it now. Shooting that Moira. Got the job done.
This is my will.
Walls. Mines are everywhere. So he dropped all those mines pretty much on you and even a little behind you. And instead of backing up or even fading, which again you have available, you just walk forward into the mine. Yeah, I'll be down in a sec. That was a good.